Will there ever be peace? It looks like Russia is at least going to talk directly with the Ukraine. We'll see what happens there, because the last time Putin said, let's have a ceasefire, it was like, let's just make more fire. So we'll see how that goes. This comes following the coalition Avengers, or the coalition of the willing, saying, hey man, Russia, y'all need to stop. We making plans to do something about this, so you just need to stop. But actually, this is following the rare earth deal that Trump made, which is kind of funny. The rare earth is kind of a distraction, because if you look at all the resources that Ukraine possesses that's untapped, it's mostly not rare earth. Matter of fact, the U.S. has more rare earth than Ukraine does. It's all the other resources. And you know what? It's probably why. I'm not saying it was why. That's probably why Putin was kind of like, let me just take it. And why everybody else was like, yo, we stand with Ukraine. We're really, let's be honest, they just wanted them sweet, sweet minerals. But you know what? The Prince of Peace, DJT, which I know is going to cause a lot of hurt, isn't going to get any credit for this. And he even said it in his State of the Union address when he went, I could save the world. I can make infinite energy. I can make everybody millionaires. They would never give me credit. Look at them all sitting down. Look at DJT. The Democrats kept saying we needed new legislation to secure the border. Turns out we just needed a new president. Oh! Joe Biden was asleep, and Kamala was at a dance party with Beyonce. Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Anyway, what's the deal? Labor seems to be making deals left, right, and center. And this reason with the US and UK, I'm seeing a lot of criticism. Now, I understand the criticism about the India deal and other various things they've done with it, like the Chagos Islands and things of that nature. Yeah, those were bad. Objectively, those were bad. However, this US-UK deal isn't bad, but it isn't great. And so what everybody's now complaining about, that it isn't great. And I'm like, okay, especially the people that were in charge before saying that, which Kimmy Badenoch has a lot to say about. Now, I agree with a lot of things she says, but this one is kind of, I think, being a little bit petty. This is another deal. It's not that good of a deal. It's not really a deal. It's not a trade deal. It's a tariff deal. It's really nothing. It's really nothing. I find when people say that when they have these little critiques about small things and saying how it's not great, tells me it's probably an okay deal, even from what their point of view, and they just don't want to admit that maybe Kyr's got something right. But you know what? If you do something bad 9 times, the 10th time you probably will get it right, just by accident. The way I see it, the UK needs to be making deals. There hasn't been one made with the US since Brexit. So the reality is, having no deal is probably objectively worse than having a decent deal. And so what they're arguing for is we should have the best deal every time, is what everybody looks for. But most of the time when people make deals, it's somewhere in the middle anyway. So these criticisms are kind of like, nah. And it was an interesting one for me, and maybe for you as well, is the Channel Islands are celebrating 80 years of liberation. I said liberation. When I looked into it, I did not realize that they were actually occupied by Nazi Germany, the only region in the UK that was during the war. And another thing is, I didn't realize how close they were to France. How did that happen? It's like Gibraltar. Yeah, how did that happen too? All the random territories the UK has, and I just never knew about. This country's just way bigger than it appears. It's like the size and influence of this nation is like an optical illusion. You just see a bunch of little islands off the coast of the European continent and think that's it. It's actually a nation with some incredible influence, which is probably why people are hurting about the deals that are being made. It's like Kyr's is kind of underestimating its influential power around the world. And that to me would actually be a valid criticism, because that's the biggest one. Think about it. There's approximately 1.3 to 1.4 billion people that speak the English language. And most of them, it ain't their first language. That's more than people speak Chinese. Think about it. Think about it. Anyway, enough about me, man. That's it. I don't have anything else crazy to say or anything else crazy going on, which is a good thing, because sometimes crazy stuff is bad stuff. Sometimes you just want normal stuff to be going on. We'll just have to see what happens with this so-called peace proposal from Russia, which is more like not even a peace proposal, more of we'll talk to Ukraine now. which was better than before because they were saying, we ain't doing nothing. We want it all. We don't want to compromise anything. But this really, for Putin, is a compromise. To us, it don't seem that way. But for him, it most definitely is. Because he didn't want to concede a thing. Let's be honest. Anyway, y'all take care.